Now here's Jaclyn.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to Wake Up with Jaclyn. I'm Jaclyn St. James. Well, today is May 5th, 2014. We are halfway through, actually, we're almost through with our season. Okay, today I have a lot to talk about because there are a lot of funny things going on that I've heard recently about sex toys. So we're going to talk about sex toys and the sad story that comes from this woman who got a little more than she bargained for at Saks Fifth Avenue in her bag. Yes. Also, in Hollywood news, we're going to talk about how Dolly Parton feels about gay marriage. And, if I can remember, a little unorganized, it's Monday morning. Oh, woe is me, I'm always late. Oh, and something about Prince Harry that some people may like. Okay, so first let me talk about my week. First, I need my morning sip of tea. Okay, well. So, as you know, I'm going through this whole foreclosure thing on my apartment. Not my foreclosure, but the landlord's foreclosure. And I'm still looking for apartments. I know I have time. Me and my best friend argue about this, Sandy Bottoms. We argue about this all the time. I like to know ahead of time of what I'm looking at, what is around and what's out there. I'm not looking to rent yet. I am not looking until August. Well, actually, maybe the end of July. But I have time, and I'm just looking to see what's out there. I like to get comfortable. I'm a worrier, so I worry about everything. And I don't want to part with my stuff. I worked hard for my stuff. I don't want to get rid of anything. I just want to be able to move right into an apartment and go from there. And, of course, I want a little extra than what I've had before. So, okay. So on that note, I'm having a hard time finding apartments. And Fort Lauderdale just sucks for apartments. It just really does. For the price that they're paying, alright, literally. I live in Lake Ridge, which is right outside of Wilton Manors and Middle River Terrace and Victoria Park area, if you're not familiar. And what I pay now for my little apartment, cottage, whatever you want to call it, in South Carolina, where I used to live in Myrtle Beach, I would have a 2-bedroom apartment. That's just how crazy it is. And my apartment is small, very small. So, yes, it's just crazy. The rents here, it's just insane. So, again, this is 3 times I've had to move. The first time I found an apartment, it was on the last day that I was here. I found an apartment, and it was the last day. I was giving up. I was going back home, and I found the apartment. And it was great. I loved it. And then I had pneumonia, which I've never had before in my life. I caught it by being stupid because I didn't go to the doctor when I should have when I had a cold. And it ended up being 30 days later, and I still was sick. So I should have knew something was wrong. So anyway, stress. The second time, so when I had pneumonia, I got back. I ended up losing my job because I was out for 2 weeks. 3 weeks, and I ended up losing my job. So now I was basically jobless. And then I found out that the building was foreclosed. They raised the rent like over $200, and I was like, I am not paying $200 for this thing. Plus, I had no money because I was like broke. So I ended up moving in with a friend of mine, who I guess he thought it was just going to be a little bit more than what it was going to be. I thought I could. It wasn't for me. It's not something I wanted to pursue. But we ended up being roommates, and I thought everything was fine. And then one day, he calls me, or he walks into my bedroom after we just watched Wendy Williams and had dinner and walked and everything else. And he turned to me and he goes, by the way, I'm moving out next month. Now, mind you, it was like January. He was moving out in February. I had 28 days to find an apartment. And I finally found this cute little cottage, little place, and I love this place. So now I'm back at it again, looking for apartments. So anyway, that's been my week. That's all I've done all week. I've been stressed about trying to find a place. So I found this cute story about sex toys that I think there's just everyone needs to know. So starting with, now you know this 3D printing crap. I don't even know how this works. I don't even read up on how 3D printing works, but anything you print can become a reality such thing. So what I want to know is, what does that mean for the sex industry as a whole? So anyway, so I was looking things up, and as we've covered already, sex toys are really mainstream right now. So no longer I mean, something you can't find. You don't have to go through creepy back alleys. I mean, honey, we have a store right on Wilton Drive. I mean, it's out there with window shopping. Yeah, I mean, sex toys galore. Um, but anyway, nowadays you can find sex toys, and this is amazing. You can find sex toys like at your local drugstore, right next to the condoms and lube. I mean, I remember the day when it was just condoms, and then they had slight lubes. And now they got all the choices that you buy online. It's just crazy. So I say it's not too shabby, but with 3D printing, which is right on the horizon. I mean, I know it's news to me too, but it is, and you can print your own sex toys at home. I still don't understand how it works, but anyway, um, yes. So, I mean, would you even want to print your own sex toy? I mean, I wouldn't even know. Like, I don't know. But anyway, okay. So before we totally jump the gun on this situation, let's start imagining the perfect vibrator. Okay, we create it and print it out. And then you gotta take a look at the brief history of sex toys. I'm sorry, this bracelet is killing me. Okay, so we're going to educate you a little this morning with some goodies that are tucked away in that special drawer next to your bed. Okay, first, dildos have been around for a long time, more than I even thought could possibly be. But we're talking 23,000 BC. Yes, I'm talking 23,000 BC. And we know this. That's the year the oldest known dildo is from. But we're not looking at that type of, the type of materials that they use today's dildo. I mean, we're talking stone, tar, and wood. Ouch. And talk about splinters. Ugh, anyway. Okay, so Cleopatra had one. Yes, she had one. We already know that Cleopatra, she really knew how to overindulge in just about everything. That's my kind of girl. I mean, according to history, or rumor, Julius Caesar gave his beloved a solid gold dildo. I mean, it's definitely a step up from the wood. Okay, and as far back as 350 BC, people were using olive oil not just to cook, but also to keep things nice and slippery in the bedroom. I mean, it was a staple not just in the kitchen, but on the nightstand. Did they have nightstands back then? I don't know. Okay. I actually dated this guy once who swore by olive oil for lube, but the smell always made me hungry instead of horny. I'm just kidding. Okay, so in the 1400s, sex toy stores popped up everywhere. Although the invitation to the first vibrator was still a few hundred years away, you could easily pick up a dildo at a dildo making store. At least that was the case in Italy. Those Europeans, man, they always are ahead of us in the sex acceptance thing, I tell you. Okay, and the first vibrator was a medical instrument, just so you know. It was to end the female hysteria, the crazy. Yes, they used a vibrator, I guess, to get her going, and then she stopped being crazy. Okay. In 1904, sex dolls were a major asset during wars. The very first rubber blow-up doll was advertised. World War II rolled around sex dolls were used to counterbalance tensions felt amongst the troops. Honey, we all know for sure that there was a lot of other things going on than using of sex dolls for that. Lord, let me tell you, I can't believe, when I moved down to Fort Lauderdale, I can't believe how many old men are gay. It's always been around, but people act as if it just started. But anyway, okay. But sex toys didn't take center stage until the 1980s. Yes. What lovely little device was introduced to the world in 1983? Does anyone know? It was the rabbit. Yes. In 1998, Charlotte on Sex and the City couldn't leave her apartment because of her addiction to the rabbit Pearl. And by 2006, Oprah magazine declared it the Rolls Royce of sex toys. The rabbit was the sex toy that was not only charged the sex toy industry forever, but became an icon at the same time. And now with 3D printing, honey, it's becoming a reality. What does that mean for you in the sex industry as a whole? Well, you and your partner could have your penises scanned and made into dildos. Let me tell you. How do you feel about that? I don't know. I'm a little disturbed by it, Anyway, but two of the many custom vibrating designs out there for 3D printing are Justin Bieber and Hello Kitty. But of course, Lord, let me tell you, it's going to change the sex revolution, the sex industry forever. I mean, think about it. You can make any size, any kind, any color. I mean, it's going to be incredible. I swear we're getting to the Jetsons every day. Okay, so now in New York City. Excuse me. Okay, so Stephanie Wilson was reaching for a receipt in her paper shopping bag from Saks Fifth Avenue when she found a letter pleading, "Help, help, help." The message, written in blue ink on white lined paper, appeared to be a desperate cry from a man who said he made the bag while being unfairly held in a Chinese prison factory more than 7,000 miles away. "We are all ill-treated and work like slaves for 13 hours a day producing these bags in bulk in the prison factory," continued the letter, which was tucked into the bottom of the bag. It ended, "Thanks and sorry to bother you." "I read the letter and I just shook," said Wilson, who was 28 years old, an Australian who lives in West Harlem. "I could not believe what I was reading," she said. The note, which Wilson found after buying a pair of Hunter rain boots at Saks in September 2012, was signed Tonian Emmanuel Nyong and was accompanied by a small passport photo-sized color picture of a man in an orange jacket. The letter, which also included a Yahoo email address on the back, triggered a hunt for the whereabouts of this mystery man. You know, there was another story about this something, but these people, if they're caught, they would be put in solitary confinement until they were to confess, or maybe later they would just increase the sentence or even death. You know, and I totally believe this. I really do believe that these people in China are like this, because you've seen some of those prisons on television, and honey, I'd kill myself. Yes, let's see. It's not the first one that came up to American shores. According to the DHS Senior Policy Advisor Kenneth Kennedy, the department was made aware of a woman in Oregon who made international news in 2012 when she discovered a similar letter detailing abuse and grueling labor in a Chinese prison when it fell from a Halloween decoration she had bought at Kmart. The Oregon letter was anonymous, though, and the New York Times later tracked down the man who said he wrote it. Saks Fifth Avenue does have its paper shopping bags made from China. This is why I believe it's true. But the company was unable to determine the specific origin of the bag that contained his letter and photo. 2 U.S. law makes it illegal for products made using slave, convict, or indentured labor to be imported into the United States. But we all know what goes on. Nyang, who was found, who is now 34, said he had been teaching English in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen when he was arrested in May 2012 and charged with fraud, a crime he never committed. He said he was held in a detention center for about 10 months while awaiting a government-sponsored lawyer who represented him at his court trial and sentencing. Nang said that he was imprisoned in the eastern city of Qingdao, Shandong province. I hope I'm saying this right. Where he was forced to work long days in the factory starting at 6 a.m. and continuing as late as 10 p.m. He sometimes made paper shopping bags like the one for Saks, while other times he assembled electronics and sewed garments. Each prisoner was required to meet a daily production quota. He said the other convicts were given a pen and paper to record their productivity. That's how he used his secret letters. He said they were being monitored all the time, and he would get under his bed cover and write it so nobody could see that he was writing anything. I mean, this is scary shit. That's why, I'm sorry, I will never go over there. Americans don't belong there. I'm sorry. Anyway, he's out of prison now, and he's working, and he was just happy that someone heard him. But, let me tell you something. I'm very skeptic about foreign travel. First off, when I was growing up as a kid, all I saw was those hijacking movies, whether it was on ships or it was on airplanes. We don't go to Jerusalem. You don't need to go to Africa. You don't need to go to Afghanistan, Libya, Beirut, any of those places where they kill people. You don't need to be over there. And these people who go there on vacation, you know what? You deserve this shit. I'm sorry. I cannot stand it. Like Mexico. Everyone says, don't go to Mexico. But let's go grab the Sea-Doo and hook it up on the back of our truck and head on out to Mexico. They didn't come back. Still looking for their bodies. I'm sorry. But if there's wars going on in those countries and they're always fighting, and let me tell you, those people, they're crazy. They're always fighting each other. I wish they would just blow each other up and get it over with so we can all live happily ever after. Make it a big lake. That's what I always say. I'm sorry. I'm just so sick of the fighting. Everyone's fighting. It's ridiculous. Anyway, We'll be back in a few minutes, or I should say a few seconds, and we'll have some Hollywood news. I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back. Well, okay. Wait till you hear this. Hold the phone. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Prince Harry is single. Yes, on the day of his brother William's third wedding anniversary. How appropriate. Sources have confirmed that Prince Harry is yet again a single man. Yep, reports say that he and Cressida Bonas, I believe that's her name, have ended their 2-year relationship and that the blonde beauty will not be joining the royal family after all. Honey, I'm free. Harry and Cressida were introduced by cousin Prince Eugenia, I don't know, who was Cressida's good friend. Recently, they have been seen out and about together more than usual, fueling engagement rumors. All that was nixed the other day when a source close to Prince Harry said he found her too needy and it just wasn't working out. Honey, Prince Harry, let me tell you, you don't even have to share a same room with me. Just get me in the damn family. I could still be a royal. I could wave. I can make press conferences. Okay, and I can wear fashionable jewelry and, dresses. Okay. Yes, the days of Princess Di. Okay, so anyway, the royal reporter Victoria Murphy tweeted that I'm hearing Harry Cressida split with amicable and very amicable, and they are still very good friends. Well, that's good to do. Okay, and last but not least, one of my favorite Hollywood or I should say country music singers, Dolly Parton. I love her. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Dolly Parton. I mean, how can you not? Anyway, same-sex marriage is not recognized in her native Tennessee land, but the blonde bombshell supports equality for all. And I just want to say personally to Dolly Parton, if she's watching, which I know she's not, but you never know, thank you. Yes. She said, I didn't know any gay people in my childhood. I do have lots of gays in my family now, but some will never come out, the singer, who is one of 12 children, God, I can't imagine, 12 children in a Pentecostal family living in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, told Britain's Event magazine per an article featured on the Daily Mail's website. She says, I think everyone should be with who they love, which is right. Why not? Dolly Parton is 68 years old. Can you believe it? Honey. I don't want to be controversial or stir up a bunch of trouble, but people are going to love who they are going to love. I think gay couples should be allowed to marry. I mean, they should suffer just like the rest of the heterosexuals. The country superstar has been married to her husband for almost 50 years. Congratulations. But she's still been the subject of gay rumors involving her close friend, Judy Ogle. She has compared her relationship with Ogle to that of Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King. I do believe that they're lesbians, but anyway. Like Gayle King, her friend Judy is my friend. They just think that you just can't be that close to somebody. She said, this was in 2012. Judy and I have been best friends since we were like in the 3rd and 4th grade. We still just have a great friendship and a relationship, and I love her so much as I love anybody in the whole world, but we're not romantically involved. So, there you have it. Dolly Parton's 42nd studio album coming out soon, Blue Smoke. Look for it. I am sorry about this cough, but I'm getting over this cold. Ugh, I hate working with people. You get all the diseases. Excuse me. Okay, so there you have it. That's our Hollywood news and our Wake Up with Jaclyn this morning. And I do hope to see you next week with another fun episode with me. So, bye for now, and enjoy your fabulous week. Bye for now.